personally and professionally, to reinvent now because there's no need, no reason to keep waiting. As we approach the new year, 2025, I just want to talk with you a little bit today about the fact that we're not just going to be talking about the idea of reinvention today. I'm actually encouraging you to step forward boldly with intent. This isn't about simply rearranging pieces of your life at various times with inconsistency, but rather it's about intentionally doing what it takes to align your heart-led passions with power, inner power, and purpose for you to intentionally honor your deepest truths, the ones that are on the inside that we want to push out to the world. My name is Leisha Thompson-Young, and I'm a leadership and personal growth coach with 22 years of leadership in corporate workers' compensation industry, return to work, and managed care leadership. I know what it takes to navigate through challenges in life, in the corporate realities, complex systems, and how to lead teams to successful outcomes. Beyond this, I've also lived the realities of personal reinvention more than once, I'll confess. Now, redefining myself as an empty nester, a former caregiver, even leading corporate, deciding to leave corporate to launch my own firm. Ultimately, I'm now a woman on a mission to inspire others like you, to prioritize reinventing so that you too can lead with heart-led passion, purpose, and power. So today, I am here to show you how to take everything that you've previously learned through your own life and through your own career thus far, and then how to channel all of that knowledge into a meaningful reinvention personally and or professionally, depending upon what your goals are. Now, whether you are with me today on the live or you're watching the replay, I want to invite you to describe the way you want to feel in 2025. So whether you say you want to feel free, you want to be confident, you want more clarity, whatever that is, you want to be intentional, or you might already know that you're ready. And so if that's the case, I'm encouraging you to start today. You don't need to wait. And I am not an advocate for creating or setting or talking about New Year goals, because most often people tend to look at that as something that they have an entire year to accomplish, which is why we don't accomplish most of our goals when the thinking goes in that direction. So rather than looking at something that far out, I am encouraging you to take a little time now to actually set some intentions. And they can be small because small steps lead to big outcomes with persistency. And so whether you're here or live, whether you're here live or watching the replay, I want you to actually drop your word in the comments. And so it would be interesting for me to see and for you to share with others who are also interested in today's topic. If you would leave your word, whatever that word is that you are feeling about your, the future. So whatever that word is, confidence, whatever it is, I want you to also practice declaring that over your life. So let's see the words in the comments. Know that your words are the seeds for your reinvention. So pick your word and just share it with the community. Now, let's talk about the foundation of reinvention, which is actually gaining clarity. Some of you may already have the clarity, but some haven't made changes in your life because you're trying or struggling to get clarity. So, to move forward and to have clarity, what you first want to do is to think about what really matters to you at this time in your life. And then also know that you can reserve the right to change things as you go forward at your discretion. So, life is not meant to be stagnant. You're not meant to continue doing the same things over and over, year after year, decade after decade. You want to actually have some clarity and excitement about your future based on your own terms whenever you choose. And that's the beauty of reinvention. It's all about personal growth. So please look at it as a positive. We're talking lifelong personal growth, which I highly encourage. So when thinking about steps that you wish to take or that you would like to take, first think about getting clarity by identifying your core values and then aligning them with your goals. Now, what's really important here is if your core values are not reflected in the goals that you've set, that is one of the reasons why accomplishing goals may have been a struggle for you or may still be a struggle. You want alignment between your core values and the actions that you take, the choices that you make as far as what you do, where you go, who you surround yourself with. Everything should be in alignment with what matters most to you. And so today, let's look at this foundation. What's one core value that you have that you've overlooked in the past just because life gets busy and you forgot, but you're now ready to bring it back into focus? So I'd be interested to know what that core value is. And then also, let's just think about, I'll give you an example. One of my core values is creativity. So I knew beginning in the 6th grade that I have a love for language, a love for words and for writing, being creative in that way. So I had dreamed of being a writer for most of my life. And I had written, I've taken courses, but I hadn't published anything. And so that was one of my values, centered around writing and becoming a published author. So I decided in 2020 to honor that value during the pandemic. It gave me a lot of time at home, just like it did for all of us. So during that time, I actually wrote a book, a manuscript, which then became a book, and I published in 2021. The title of my book is When Your Soul Whispers: Strategies for Leaders to Redefine Values and Move Forward After Life's Transitions. I share that with you because you too probably have something, some goal, some passion that you're ready to ignite, but that you just haven't. So stay with me a while and we'll walk through what that process can look like so that you can receive the clarity that you need and understand also that moving forward is not such a daunting task as sometimes we are led to tell ourselves. Small steps will still get you the result that you desire. So thinking about whether or not there was a time when you felt stuck in your life. So you knew that you wanted to make changes, you didn't know how, and you may have actually just been afraid of making a mistake, or it may have just felt overwhelming. Perhaps you knew what you wanted to do, but the thought of taking action just felt extremely overwhelming to you. So I suspect that you've experienced a time in your life where things just weren't the way you wish they were. Was it something about your career? Was it unbalanced? Did you feel that something was lacking in a relationship, or perhaps you were a caregiver and that phase of life ended? And as you looked forward, you had concerns about how to channel the knowledge that you gained by being a caregiver in meaningful ways to help you to reinvent or redirect your future in more meaningful ways. So, would you say that your current path is exciting? Is it fulfilling? And if so, type yes or no in the comments to share. Redesigning your future is possible. And I want you to believe that to be true, because often we get lost in our thoughts. And I've heard people say, though I want this, it's never going to happen for me. It happens for others, but never for me. And so I want you to redirect your limited thinking into thinking that is much more prosperous for you. So the answer to that question is redesigning your future is possible. And to do it successfully based on what's meaningful for you requires that you become more self-aware. Now, self-awareness includes your ability to identify your next steps. So to begin this process, I am encouraging you to write down 3 things that hype you up. So what are these heart-led passions that you have? For me, an example would be spending time or hanging out with my closest friends, or intentional travel. Both actually rank very high on my list of things that are very meaningful to me. Part of my core values include both of those. So what are your top 3? What are your top 3 heart-led core values? I encourage you to drop that in the comments, or at least write it down for a note that you to self that you will come back to later. Now, often when making changes, as I stated, we don't move forward because of fear of making a mistake or just uncertainty. Here's the truth, though. Your vision for your life is actually worth taking calculated risk. So I encourage you never to lose sight of how important you are in your personal life, but also contributions that you too can share with the world. So let's talk about how to break the cycle of waiting and how to actually take action. Procrastination actually steals your momentum. Have you ever said, I'll start when I get more money, or I don't have enough time, I'll start later? Things like that are what you're saying on the outside, sometimes pretending everything is okay. But the reality is, reinvention begins when you say yes to yourself. And you can do that now, right now, today, even. So ask yourself, what's one small step that you can take toward your passion, to honor your goals and your passion? And maybe it's just researching a topic that you've always, or a subject that you've always wanted to learn about. Maybe it's making a phone call or sending an email inquiry. Maybe it's purchasing my book, When Your Soul Whispers: Strategies for Leaders to Redefine Values and Move Forward After Life's Transitions, which can be purchased on my website, www.Licia Thompson.com. Shameless plug. But do you agree that small steps can lead to big breakthroughs? I'd be interested to know if that resonates with you. So think about it. Small steps, if you continue to make them, can lead to big breakthroughs. And sometimes it doesn't take a series of small steps. Sometimes a breakthrough can occur by taking one small step. It's definitely worthy of your time and energy to begin to put your thoughts into actionable steps. So motion, moving forward, will get you the clarity that you desire. So, is there one step that you agree that you will make? And if so, then place that in the comments. Let me give you an example. My husband shared with me that when he was in high school, he loved to perform on live stages and plays. Now, life got in the way as it does. Um, Even through college, he lost sight that that was something that he truly enjoyed during high school. So, only I would say a year and a half ago, did he think about this passion and actually auditioned for a play. That in that play, he got a supporting role, and then he was in a second play this year with a leading role. So it's never too late to go back to pick up the passions that you know you once had and to discover or rediscover if they still are passions or if you've actually moved on to something else that has replaced what you once thought was a passion. But it's worthy and worthwhile for you to sit with that for some time, for a few moments, just to think about it. Take a look back only to determine if something that was truly a passion has gotten lost in the flurry of life. And if so, it is never too late to tap in and to resurrect your true love and to look forward to the breakthroughs that you too can experience going forward. Now, I want to give you another technique here or a strategy. So, to start creating your reinvention plan or blueprint, whatever you want to call it, identify one lesson that you've learned from life. So, one for me, an example would be to never procrastinate. I learned to be proactive primarily because of the career that I had. And so it was necessary. That's a strong word, I guess, but it was necessary for me to become proactive in all endeavors in a leadership position. And you too probably have recognized value there. So things come at us daily in our lives and in our careers. When we avoid or procrastinate, it actually makes those situations become more difficult and even daunting. And that's what we want to avoid. Therefore, being proactive, sometimes learning how to see what's coming before it's actually right up in your space, in your face, can help you to redirect and still have successful outcomes. So, going back to creating your reinvention plan, identifying the one lesson in life, there probably are many, but I'm only asking you to consider one lesson that life has taught you and align it with a goal that you want to achieve in the next 3 months. So, we're talking short-term gains. So you can have the goal that you want to accomplish in the next 3 months, but you're not going to wait or procrastinate on what needs to happen to ensure that you accomplish the goal. So short term, you will want to actually start with smaller goals to get you to the end goal. So your first small goal could be, again, just writing it down and then taking action to research, whether the research is going to Google or it's Chat GPT these days. Either way, you want to look into it to determine what you think would be your next step forward. So now here's another example. If you are a former caregiver, you know that caregiving taught you life lessons. Perhaps it's resilience, perseverance, tenacity. You would know best, but writing down what that is, that thing that you gained, and there should be more than one positive outcome, something that you learned through your journey as a caregiver. Now, that one thing that you focus on could fuel a new career or a creative project or anything, something that you've always wanted to do but didn't, looking at that thing that you gained, those strengths that you recognized as you navigated through all the nuances being a caregiver for a loved one. Now, if your career is in leadership, how can you use the same skills that you have really honed in on, probably perfected in your career? How can you use those skills to honor your core values? Write it down. Perhaps you want to keep these notes on a notepad that you use on your phone so that they're with you 24/7 to prevent losing sight of the information that you gain by just answering the questions that I'm posing today. So again, remember, this is the beginning of a personalized blueprint for you. Now, to soar in 2025, you'll want to integrate everything you've learned so far. This means connecting the intersection of your heart-led passion, your purpose, and your redefined goals. So connecting them all together. Ask yourself questions like, what whisper from your soul have you been ignoring? So what's your inner spirit, your inner core, your inner being? What has that been telling you? What signals have you received? What dream have you carried in your thoughts, but it always felt just outside of reach? What is it that keeps tugging at your heart now? Those are the things that you want to revisit. Now, here's how to align those thoughts with action. So you want to revisit your passions regularly so that you don't lose sight completely. Don't do what I did and live almost a lifetime, decades, in fact, having lost sight that I always knew that I was meant to write and become a published author. Missed all those years because I forgot that that was a passion until later in life. And that's okay if you've experienced that as well. You can always return to your passion to make it a reality, and there is no time limit on doing so. Just don't lose sight totally or give up because you think it's outside of your ability. Because I tell you now, trust in yourself to know that you can accomplish any goal that you set, even those that require you to gain additional help from other people who may have already reinvented, or people who are experts in the field of reinventing, such as myself. But revisit your passions regularly. Set time aside each week, at least one day, if not maybe every day, 15 minutes. It doesn't take hours, but you want to set time to reconnect. Maybe schedule it as a meeting to yourself first thing in the morning, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just to keep your focus where you want it to be, to make your dreams become a reality. What brings you joy? Now, create goals that excite you, aligned with your core values. These should be specific and actionable items that are rooted in your truth, in your core, from your heart-led truths. Then share your journey with a trusted accountability partner or a coach, a family friend. For more personal guidance, you can send a message to me requesting to schedule a 30-minute call to explore options to get you on the path where your heart leads. Now, here's some just micro steps, really small, because reinvention doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It's a series of small intentional steps forward toward whatever it is that you have purposed yourself to step into. But it's creating a new habit around dedicating, again, 10 minutes or so a day or every other day, 3 times a week, whatever that new habit is. You want consistency to take a look at it and create small steps forward. You also want to write all of this down so that you can track your progress. So it's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Let me say it again. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Each step you take brings you to the next step that you can take to move forward, that you purpose yourself. Let me correct the word that I use, that you purpose yourself to use to go forward. Now, let me give you a little insight on what makes my coaching unique. My coaching combines the structure of corporate strategy, 22 years of it, with empathy and insight that comes from lived experiences that I've also had. Now, I understand challenges of midlife reinvention. Why? Because I've walked that path several times. Through my RISE framework, RISE as in renew, ignite, and soar with excellence, I equip leaders like you to gain clarity, rebuild confidence, and take necessary steps to prioritize living your life on purpose with passion, power, and purpose at 50 plus. So if you're interested in learning how I can serve as your accountability partner, where you'll actually have 24/7 contact ability with me, whether it's a text or an audio message. You also have the ability to schedule a Zoom call when you've met certain goals or certain requirements, we'll say, of this program. So my purpose is to help you with accountability so that you actually move forward in the ways that are important to you so that you can accomplish any goals that you create. And people tend to hire me for this reason because though we often say that we know what we want to work on, accountability becomes a challenge for most humans. And so I am here to offer my time and expertise as a reinvention expert who uses all the corporate knowledge that I gained to pair it with all the tools, techniques, and strategies that you will find helpful as you purpose yourself to grow forward in the new year. So, if you don't need permission, I want to share with you that reinvention is your birthright, personal and professional. Reinvention is your birthright. You don't need permission from anyone other than yourself. You just need courage to take your first step. So, together, we can make 2025 the year that you step fully into your inner power by identifying what that is for you, because it's unique for each individual. But no more waiting, no more sitting on the sidelines, wishing and wanting and seeing other people experience success when you too can do the same in your unique way with accountability. The world needs leaders like you who are whole, unapologetically authentic, and who are willing to claim your birthright now. So I want to encourage you to let's make this happen. Let's make it happen because your time is now. Time waits for no one, as you know. I want to thank you for joining me on this journey today. And if you're ready to honor your heart-led passion, you may be a candidate for my RISE 90-day accountability program, where we'll meet virtually. We'll also schedule 30-minute Zoom conferences. And you have, again, as I mentioned, the ability to be in touch with me, to reach out 24/7 by audio or text. It's your choice. So if you are ready to discuss what that looks like or what it can look like for you, schedule a call. Just send me a message that says that you're interested. You get to drive this for yourself forward. You are in charge of when you choose to reach out, when you want to schedule a call. So that's your choice. I will be available. So let's go. Let's start now. No waiting, no more waiting. Again, my name is Leisha Thompson-Young, and I am a personal growth and leadership coach and author, reinvention expert, and I am here to lead you, to guide you, to equip you, to tap into your heart-led passion, your power, your purpose, and to make it a priority now. Thank you so much.